What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kwani. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin.
Low ass, but hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
Welcome to Spitballin.
All
Sal,
right,
how are you, buddy? It's good to see you, man.
back at it. My whole left side of my face hurts this morning. My sinus, I was in the middle of the night. It kind of woke me up. I don't know. I think it's just me being back in LA and LA smog. I'm like, oh, smog and dust has been a while, and now it just infiltrates me, and I'm fucking.
Dude, you got to figure this out, man. It's like every other episode. There's something going on with your sinuses. I feel like you got the worst sinuses ever, dude.
Oh,
like,
dude, it hurts. It's like I feel like I got punched in the face.
Man, I'm sorry about that.
So yeah, you asked. So there it is. There's my highlight of the week.
That's your highlight of the week. My highlight of the week. Well, first off, it's good to see you. Welcome back from the holidays. My highlight of the week is I had a coworker test positive for this COVID Omicron shit, and the motherfucker wouldn't go get tested, bro. It like he took forever to go get tested. So I worked with him one day, and then he calls in sick the next day, like, hey man, my throat and I got a fever and I don't feel good. And I'm like, dude, go get tested, right? He's like, I got fatigue. I can barely get up to go use the bathroom. Go get tested. He doesn't respond. 3 days later, hey dude, did you get tested? No response. 5 days later, dude, go get tested. I work with you. I need to know if I got some shit, right? The dude didn't get tested. He finally, after man, how many days? I'll play this. When he finally got tested and he got his results back, he finally called the company and said, I tested positive for COVID. Now, this whole time, his cousin tested positive. Everyone that he was around for the holidays tested positive. His cousin, his other cousin, his mom, everyone around him tested positive. The dude refused to go get tested, right? Finally, when he got tested, he calls the company, tells him that he got tested and he tested positive. The HR calls me and says, we want to let you know that someone on your crew tested positive for COVID. And due to COVID protocols, we got to ask you all these questions or whatever. And then she says, based on the time frame from when he was initially sick till now would have been the 10 days that you would have had to been out, right? So the whole time that I was working, I could have been positive because this dude never went to go get tested, right? He took so long that the 10 days that I would have been out to confirm that I don't have it, I made it through those days. She was like, well, today would have been your 10th day. And so you could have come to work tomorrow. I'm like, well, tomorrow's my day off. So like,
that's the problem with it. That's why it's so easily spread, because people don't know or they don't get tested and then they're spreading it and not knowing it.
Yeah, I get that. But this dude felt awful. Still doesn't feel good.
And this is crazy. He still tested positive like a week after catching it.
Yes.
That's weird too. Because
Yeah.
usually is he vaccinated?
Yes, he's vaxxed and boosted. He's all that shit. Tell me it's a breakthrough. Oh, it's a breakthrough.
Wow.
No, it ain't doing shit is what it is. It's a not doing shit because you got the shit and you were
So we haven't told the crowd yet. I caught the COVID, dude, the Omicron, and I had the booster. I just got it, and they said boosters at its fullest strength 3 weeks after. So 3 weeks after, felt safe to go to a holiday party where everybody was vaccinated. It's like a dozen people,
12 people. Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because we just did that video clip of like mask on, but like I've done stuff outside before where people are masked off. Meanwhile, everyone else in the whole goddamn country is no masks indoors, big old groups, fucking stadium fulls. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But
well, hold up though. Let's address this too, because this is a real thing. You were at this party and people had taken their mask off and you felt some type of way, right? Like you felt a little self-conscious.
Well, honestly, I didn't even like having it on, just going in, because I figured everybody vaxxed, was safe. Now, this is before Omicron this is like the pioneers of Omicron. This is early because we didn't, the wave hadn't hit yet. It was like the week before the wave.
This was the beginning of the wave.
This was the beginning of the wave. Like literally 2 weeks earlier, you're like, oh, I heard about this in South Africa, which is crazy that this shit could travel like Superman and get here that quick.
Right.
You know?
Right. Get
So,
off a plane. And they got off in LA first. So but go ahead.
Right. And being in a big city with all that. So the way I caught it is the lamest way. Now, see, now you can't say that anymore because that's offensive to disabled. So, okay, it's the wackest way. Well, that kind of sounds like I'm misappropriating culture. So let me change.
What? Are you serious?
Let's see. The dumbest way I caught. Well,
because now you
definitely done it dumber than me.
Yeah, exactly. You're insulting people who aren't very well educated.
All right, well, the gayest way. No, that's definitely wrong.
You can't do that for people who have different sexuality
what
preferences.
do I say? Like, what do you say?
Actually, you know what? That's offensive. I can't even say different sexuality preferences because that makes it sound like it's a conscious thing. So people who just have a different or people who are who like something different than you and I. Okay.
All right. So can I say the lamest way? Maybe, I don't know.
Nah, because then you go back to square one. How about you just say a way that wasn't cool? But then that could be offensive to the nerds, right?
the uncool. Yeah, that's funny. I'll just say the uncoolest way.
Okay.
All right. I caught it from a vegan man when I pulled him aside to share with him my non-dairy recipes because I'm lactose intolerant.
You know what the most offensive thing about this whole thing is that you had to mention that he was vegan.
Well, right. Well, that's why I shared it because vegan, I could eat vegan food and like the non-dairy is a big thing in their world. So I was, I had all this stuff. So
okay, so maybe it's not so bad that you mentioned he's vegan. It's just like when people mention parts of the story that have no relevancy. So I'm talking to this guy the other day, and he's a Chinese fellow, and so we watched a baseball game together. Like, what did it mean? No. What did it matter?
You gotta have faith that I know it all connects, and it's kind of part of the bit where I'm gonna be like, so I pull him aside, but hey, but this diet cheese, it's not there. Yeah, I use the shreds and I melt them up. What the? You don't use the shreds. You buy the cube, you shred it yourself. Like, now cough in my mouth.
I love your Italian accent. I love when that joint kicks in. You don't buy the shreds. You buy the cube. Hey, you buy the cube, you shred it yourself like a true Italian.
And it's also my stomach's fault because we were even hesitant about going, but the mofo, they do it up right, and they got Italian food ordered in. So they got like trays of it, right?
Oh man, because you probably ingested COVID too. You didn't just breathe it. You ate the COVID, bro.
Chicken parmigiana, like all the bread. Oh, so good, dude. The food. So that's what made me go to the thing. But here's another thing now. So no symptoms for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So no idea. And then the only reason I first got tested was because somebody
from the party
was positive at that party. So then like 4 people caught it, and I was like one of them. And then the thing is, so you have no idea. So then I took a take-home test, and it was negative.
Okay.
So the take-home tests aren't that accurate. And then the next day I wasn't feeling as well and went to CVS and got a PCR test. And then it takes like 2 days or a day and a half to get your results.
Okay.
And then, that day and the next day I was down. I was just like, the first day was the worst. It was like a little chills, a little fevery, and like you felt like you had the flu, the scratchy throat. And then the next day, the sore throat still hurt, like felt like someone slashed your throat.
Oh,
and then,
you know how that feels, huh?
And then that was kind of, and then it kind of was,
it feels like COVID.
Then it just got better every day, something less and less. But it was really the first couple of days that knocked you down. But that was, and I think it's fortunate that I was boosted because, it could have been a lot worse symptoms and stuff.
Right.
And
dude, I'm telling you right now,
it's crazy because Omicron don't give a shit. You could just catch it. And it was funny. And then Destiny didn't catch it. And we've been hanging out the whole time. So like, and who knows, she might have had less of a viral load, as they say. So maybe it didn't show up in the test. She did have some symptoms. It wasn't like the same, but it was crazy because she's like, we were looking up the results again. It's like negative. And I'm like, positive. Oh, shit.
Yo, that's
But
crazy,
now I
man.
hope
Everyone
it makes me like super immune, because they say now if you got all that and you got it, that's, I don't know, as much antibodies. COVID and I have been hanging out a lot together in my system.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that like it took me forever to get my vaccine, right? Which I finally did, not begrudgingly, but obviously I've never been like a card carrying, hardcore supporter of it in the sense of the time frame, right? With all the information. But you got your vaccine and you got your boosted and you got your COVID and now you should be bulletproof for at least 6 months, right?
Right. Well,
At
yeah,
least
yeah,
6 months.
yeah.
On the other
Yeah.
hand, I plan on not getting this shit at
You
all.
got your mind, man. You got your mind.
No, I know. And they're talking about it's crazy. They're not talking about if, they're talking about when with this because it's so highly contagious. But dude, you don't understand that I was contemplating wearing a mask for this podcast right now. Right.
So was it scary when you heard about this guy who was positive? Then right away you think, shit.
No, I wasn't worried. Honestly, I wasn't worried and I wasn't scared. I just wanted to make sure, just to be safe, right? But I mean, this guy, he wears his mask the whole day.
That is the best prevention, the mask, right. I feel like
it's it's airborne.
Right.
And I wear my mask all day, and we're in an open air space for the most part. And I do
remember like talking to this motherfucker's face, like it was,
Oh, you was doing that close face talking. You're like, yeah. So with the shredded cheese,
yeah, I don't want anyone
to know. You got to get a block and shred it yourself, right?
Exactly, dude.
He's like, yeah, tell me more. All right.
Yeah. And then
taking deep breaths. He's like, yeah, tell me more. You're like, here's some more information. So, well, I'm glad to, all jokes aside, man, I'm really happy to hear that you're okay. And
I'll tell you, man, I was a little scared that first day. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. So, everybody that I know who's gotten it, and I know a handful of people now, they've all been vaccinated and boosted. So it's it just goes to show that this thing it's got a mind of its own.
Yeah. Man. And I feel like maybe it kept safe from like
from
severe, first two, the originals, but now this new variant, it just
well, hold up though.
It's so contagious, which is crazy.
And now there is a newer one coming out of France, the IHF or IUH.
Something about this. What is it called?
IUH or IFH or something like that.
Gotta work out its name, dude.
I do gotta work out his name, but I hear
not you, that whoever came up.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's but I hear that this one is actually this one has more severe side effects. So
Jesus.
So we'll see, and I think it's supposed to have gotten here now. I think it showed up in LA.
Hey, with the anti-vax family update.
Okay.
My anti-vax cousin, him and his anti-vax mother caught it, and his mom ended up in the hospital. And I was like, wow, all your immune bullshit, dude, didn't work out there. I put your mama in the hospital. So she came out, I think, of it. But I was telling my mom, dude, because I saw my mom in Florida. I was like, you gotta get vaccinated, man. I'm putting this person in the hospital. And she's like, I'm thinking about it. And I even said, hey, even Reggie got it.
Oh boy. Don't be using me. Don't use me.
But
I saw how last time you cut out the part.
Dude.
Of the podcast you cut
I want to promote good health, Reg.
Look, just for the record, and you can cut this part out too. I simply said, for whoever's doing whatever they want to do, just it's your right to do whatever.
Kyrie Steele, everybody. Kyrie Steele.
No way. I know, because I got mine already. So and do not clap or say congratulations, because I'll end this shit right now. Bling. Okay, well, it sounds like she's coming around, and hopefully, I mean, look, if she keeps her distance and she stays masked up, and maybe she gets one. Yeah, maybe gets one of them, and then
Well, here's the thing: this thing is so contagious, and then in Florida, there's no rules, dog. Like
Florida's the wild west of COVID, right?
Some people mask, but majority of people, you go into a grocery store, packed, no masks. You go to restaurants and no masks. It's
a whole state in denial, right?
It's insane, bro.
Yeah.
It's like they look at you like you're the freak. Like when we go on the road, coming through,
Yeah.
stop at a gas station and stuff. That's when you're really in the sticks. No masks, people in line to order the fried chicken from the gas station, and like looking at you like the hell while they got no goddamn shoes or socks on, right?
Yeah, hold up. Can we just take a moment? Can we have a moment of silence for gas station fried chicken?
I was like, what the hell's the second line? And I look up and then people in there get the gas station fried chicken.
Hold on, you look at the gas line at the gas station, it's like 5 people. You look at the fried chicken line, it's like 25 people. You're like, damn, I guess I'm in the wrong line.
And you know what else?
Honestly, though, this look right here, I could care. No one recognizes me.
No, right? It's nice.
It's nice. So I could be wherever and you can look at me how you want to. You don't know me, right? You ain't gonna never know me.
Yeah. No, you know what I hate too about these gas stations on the road in the South? They have like a whole rack of gator heads. And it's like small gator heads all the way to bigger, and it's just selling that shit. And it's just like, how many gators gonna die for this stuff, man?
Yeah, exactly. Killing gators, really? Like and putting them up for sale. Florida, dude. I can't believe. Dude. I feel like you went to COVID capital. You went to the COVID capital of the world.
This is America.
Yeah, I know. Well, the COVID capitals would be New York, Florida, and Texas. But I guess Texas has kind of been keeping it together a little bit.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know.
I haven't heard. Or either Florida and New York are so bad that, Texas is just not even a blip on the radar at this point.
Yeah, Florida is in denial, and New York is just so compact. Like New York's always the one that gets hit first.
Yeah. There's no space in New York, no room. Okay, so you went to Florida, and I got to see a little video and some pictures you sent me. So you actually
I'm gonna load those up right now, and then I'll pull them up for you.
So Sal saw gators in the wild. Like straight
in the
up
wild, dude. Like just
chilling.
Just chilling, man.
Just chilling. Wait, what did you say? You said you're like I remember you sent me the picture. I forget what I said, but I said go pet it.
Right? Yeah. Reggie wanted me to go risk my life for the podcast.
Well, hey, dude, it's that thing, dude, when animals attack, right? And plus, I was like, this is what I said, folks. I said, Sal, go pet it, right? And he's like, yeah, right. And I go, dude, it would be the best story of why you lost your hand. I was like, our podcast ratings would go through the roof if we had a Sal got attacked by an alligator or a crocodile. Which one?
That night I had a dream about alligators. Like I was like locked in this room and there was all these alligators in there I had to avoid, and I did slap one on his leg, which was kind of funny.
His little short, stubby leg.
I was like, take that, fool. But yeah,
well,
man.
I'm glad you didn't pet it.
It's really enticing though. So, because the one time I went and got this buffalo pictures, and when I was up in Alberta, not far long after that Canadian podcast, we could talk about that. That was a good episode that Reggie didn't have the time to listen to the whole thing. But anyway,
I'm sorry, folks, I didn't. But when I did listen to it, just give you props, good. Sal. You're very, I love the end.
It's a sweet ending. It's beautiful. Okay.
It's you're a really good interviewer, dude. I give you props.
Yeah, I could bounce off of anybody, even people. It was cool. Just all different types. But anyway, I went this national park and they had some buffalo there, and I wanted to take pictures, right? And it was the coldest I ever felt in my life. It was minus 30 degrees that day. Okay, that's cold, dog.
Wait, even colder than the
even colder than the inauguration. Now the
inauguration.
Oh yeah, inauguration was like minus something, but it wasn't minus 30. That's like you can't be outside longer than like 15 minutes. What I would do is I was driving in the car. You keep the heater on, and this is like Alberta, tiny national park. Nobody's there. There's like a few people, right? Okay. I went on a random Tuesday when I had the day off from gigs. So I go out there. You keep the car running, dude. And the first buffalo I see, there's 2 of them. They're just laying in the snow. Like just just don't see their legs all four. They're all crouched down, right? Like a loaf of bread. And I'm all like, well, this ain't exciting.
I love that you did. What's it called? Is that called anthropomorphism? Where you give human characteristics or give
to animals?
Yeah. But in this case, you gave an animal characteristic to a bread. He like,
That's what it
he like
looked
a
like.
buffalo was crouching down like a loaf of bread. As
Yeah.
if bread has legs to crouch.
You don't see the legs. That's the thing. It's just laying down, look like a big old woolly bread.
Yo, your bread got legs?
No,
That's
it doesn't
mold,
have
man. You got to
legs.
throw that out.
That's the thing.
It's mold. You've
Anyway.
had it too long. If your bread can get up and walk away, you've had it too long. Let it go. Now go ahead.
These things are laying, just sitting there. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go get a picture. I'm gonna get a close-up, because this is where I learned I gotta get a better lens, like a big zoom in lens, so I don't have to risk my life. So I start walking. Yeah,
my joint got 100 times magnification, but go ahead.
I need a real deal, dog, like $2,000 lens. So the snow's up to my waist, bro. And I'm like this, trying to walk. I'm getting closer and closer, and they're just laying in the snow. I'm getting closer, and all of a sudden, they both stand up.
And you're in waist-high snow.
They're looking at me the whole time.
Dude, and you're in waist-high snow. That means you can't run away. You can't run away. What are you thinking? See, this is why white people get attacked by animals all the time. Wait, who in their right mind goes in waist-high snow to take pictures of wild animals? Not even thinking, I can't run away in this.
Well, once I saw him stand, I was like, oh, all right. And I just started going backwards slowly. I got the hell out of there because, and then there was another one where I saw one in the middle of the road. I took a picture of it. It was a really cool shot because he's in the middle of the road, way off in the distance. And then I saw him like go up on the side, right? So I pull over the car. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go up there and get him, right, dude? The hill, it's like a little hill. It's not tall, but you can't see over it. All right, it's like 6-7 feet tall, and there's all trees on it. And he went over it, but I don't know where he went. And I was like, I want to follow up there, but what if I follow up there? He's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was scared. I was like, fuck it. I was like, what would what's his name? Jacques Cousteau do?
Steve Irwin.
So I run up there. So I go up there real quick, and thank God he wasn't right there. He's off in the distance in the woods, but he's covered by the trees. I couldn't really see him, and couldn't get a picture. So I just came back down because again, I was like, snow waist high. You're traveling fast, and I go back into the car. And I turn to look, and right across the street, wide open out of the forest, is another buffalo just sitting there, just standing there looking at me. I was like, holy shit. So then I got out, and that's where I got some of the coolest shots because he was just right there in the open. And he was chill.
Well, man, I'm really happy to hear that you're not the first. You're not the first American-born person to get mauled by a buffalo.
Yeah, it's and it happens. They're dangerous, man.
Yeah, they're big and they're strong and they're fast too.
Yeah,
faster than you think they are.
Right.
Yeah, faster than you think they are.
All right, I'm gonna pull up these pictures now. Some of the pictures from Florida, dude.
Okay.
And we'll get to the gator, which was the highlight that I wanted to see. Because it's just so funny that all right, we'll get into it. First off, the birds. Check out this nice these cranes. Yeah. They're all about the cranes. There's so many of them.
Man, it's such a beautiful bird. Look at that. Look at that neck. Right. Look at the shapes. Right.
Yeah.
Like as an artist and as a person who likes to draw, like I just see shapes, right? Like I see the S and then I see the oval for the body.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even the coloring on the face and stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
But then this other one, which is really kind of neat. Here, you get out of here. It was like right next to me, man. So then I got to go right up next to him.
Which one is this?
This bird.
Okay.
And this one's kind of cool. He's just sitting there with his green eye.
Oh wow, look at that. Wow.
Yeah, and it's a big old white, same idea, the crane.
Yeah.
I have a shot right beforehand of him landing, when him flying in, and it's pretty cool.
I have to admit, man, I love the fact that you appreciate nature.
The same it's one of my favorite. Oh yeah. That's why I literally got into a biology degree. Was initially because of animals.
Did you want to do
I always liked animals, working with them and stuff. So yeah, here's them flying in, and there's like that other kind that you saw earlier.
So wait, one is an egret though, right? Isn't the one?
Man, I don't know. I think one's a male and one's a female. Honestly, that's what I feel. Because I saw two of those gray like male ones going after each other, and male birds are usually the more diverse in color.
Yeah, Yeah, that's
They
true.
have to attract the female. They got to dance their ass off for the females because they're very picky in the bird world.
I brought the shoulders back.
Yeah. No, they're trying to get laid, not scare them off, man.
Hey, look at my dance. Look at my dance compared to your dance.
Okay, so then what's the final? Okay, so then here he is. Here's the fucking there's signs all over. They say, hey, watch out for the gators.
Watch out for the gators.
And the rattlesnakes and coyotes. But you never see anything. And then the last day
the rattlesnakes, you don't see them until they bite you.
It's true. The last day we're at this park again. It's cool. This park right down. They got a little lake.
Right.
And my girlfriend's mom saw it first and texted me. She's like, it's up on the front of the lake. Come check it out. And
that's right. This is when you sent me, you go, yo, Reg, there's just dinosaurs hanging out.
This thing is like 12 feet, dude, 14 feet long. And just sitting there on the side, man. Now, this is the second shot I took, because see behind him all the way up on the top of that, like beyond the tree and stuff, that's where I was on the path. Okay. So let me show you on that path when you're up there. This is the angle I was getting, which was kind of cool still, because I got him with his mouth open, which is
huge gape.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. So there we go.
Oh, wow.
So dude, this is the side. Yeah, so this is where I first saw him, and on this side. Now, what I wanted to do was walk around him and get the other angle, because I knew the sun was better, that view, and this tree was blocking me and shit. But dude, I was a little worried to go right around him, because if I went around him, behind me was all tree, so I'd have been blocked up against a wall. So he could have definitely. And yeah, these fuckers are fast, man. They those little legs running right at you.
Yeah, they come at you.
Yeah, so I didn't know. So then I went back and around this path all this way, and then came back up on him, and then that's where I saw him just laying there.
Dude, that's that's pretty cool to see these animals out in the wild, right? Like in their natural habitat. But the fact that you can get so close, I don't like that. You know, I mean, they kind of get used to people. Maybe
Well, this is what sucks, is I should have stayed even longer, because he wasn't doing anything, just sitting there. And then I guess he just got in the water because some kid was riding and his parents are coming, and I saw him on the path, and they had like a toy tank, like electric one. You know how like you have a little, but it was a huge tank, and the kid driving it. I guess the gator heard the sound and didn't like it and got back in the water.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that I just don't like when animals get comfortable with people and they hang out, because then it's easy to kill them, or it's easy for people to get hurt by him because they think, oh, it's nice, right? People like, oh, look, good gator. Like they understand what that means. I'm gonna pet the gator, right? And then your kid gets snatched up and dragged into the water. You know, Florida's the place where some lady let her kid get too close to the water. Gator came up and snatched the kid and dragged him into the water.
Yeah, that happened in Florida. Or in near Disney World, that happened.
Yeah,
and
that's terrible. And I mean, they eventually got the gator. I mean, kid didn't make it, obviously, but
well, see, that's the thing, though. Then the gator has to die because some Floridians would be like, well, you shouldn't be in any lake water in Florida. Don't go hang out because gators are there. It's
exactly.
A given. Yeah. Everybody. I mean, look at the size of that thing that was in mine.
Yeah, that was 12 feet. That's
crazy. That thing is huge. That's just a little lake, dude.
Right. But doesn't Florida also have don't they have an abundance of iguanas as well?
I don't know about iguanas. I saw a lot of lizards, like a lot of little lizards are there.
Yeah, but not the big, not Komodo dragons or anything, but like the little iguanas. They talk about them falling out of the trees, right? Because it's
maybe in different parts. That's true. Here's just the whole swampy looking land.
Yeah, that doesn't look safe. Right? There's nothing about that makes me want to walk around that area.
No, it's dope, dude. That's where you see the animals.
Yeah, I know, man. But I'm just saying, it looks like a breeding ground for crocodiles and alligators and big reptiles, cold-blooded animals that chop your ass in half.
Here's my last one. This guy came up on me and said hi. It's a cute little squirrel, dude.
Okay.
There he goes.
You know what's funny is that actually, this is funny. I was actually trying to write a joke about this when I was still doing stand-up um, about squirrels and rats. I was like, rats need new PR people, right? Because squirrels are out in the daytime, right? You see them running through the trees on power lines and stuff, and they just seem kind of cool. But I feel like they're from the same family, right? Like rodent family. I was like, but no, they're not. Because
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Well, here's the thing. Look at this.
Rats are. The thing is that rats, they all sneaky. They hang out in dark alleys and corners and stuff, and it feels like maybe if they just came out during the day and didn't act so suspicious all the time, maybe they could. I don't know.
Rats, I mean, first off, look at the tail. It's the tail, bro.
It's the tail.
You got a bushy tail. That's cute as hell. A rat tail is one of the most disgusting things ever. And I know I used to have to work with rats and clean their fucking cages in a lab.
Oh, that's right, in the lab.
And they get disgusting tails, man. But that's how you grab them. You grab them from their tails.
Really?
Yeah, dude. That's how you. So it was. I mean, actually, cleaning rat cages isn't too bad.
Yo. I'm telling you right now, I'm not touching a rat. I ain't going near a rat. I don't want to see rats. Even the idea of the joke that rats should come out during the daytime, it's purely a joke because I do not want to see a rat. You see a rat during the daytime, you're like, oh, shit. Like, I feel like this, no matter where you are in the world, if you see a rat during the daytime, your immediate thought is, I got to change my life. Right? I need to be in a different place than where I am right now. Because if I see rats during the daytime, something's wrong.
Here's the thing. I was in college. I was in college here at Cleveland State getting my biology degree, and I needed another job. I was working at a gas station, and I used to work at the Jacobs Field, the ballpark, and then the gas station. But then that was later in college. Like those jobs were all right. I was getting like $6 an hour or something, right? And then I got this lab job. I went and interviewed, and I was like, oh, I'll do something in my field, right? And so this was like a lot more. It was like $10 an hour, $11. That's like double. That's big in Ohio, right? So especially in college. And then I go on the interview, and there's this guy. His little lab coat, you got every lab coat, and he takes me through. He's like, yeah, you'd be like an assistant. It's me, this other guy, and this girl back here. We prep animals for surgery. For the vets work on them and shit. They're testing stuff. This is how they came up. They came up with a thing that it would prevent scarring of tissue. So if you had like breast cancer, or if you had a small back cancer or something, their spine, they would apply this like gel like thing that would make you heal faster and prevent the tissue from scarring. But they learn this stuff when they like do surgeries on rats and shit, and that's how it's done. So did it
ever like develop?
It did. No, it did well. And then they had like there was a fallout, and with some results, somebody changed. I don't know. There was some fallout, and then they went bankrupt, and that was it. Dang. But so it went for a little bit. But when I worked there, when they went to interview, it's a small little lab, like in the office space, very small. And then you get up and you walk in the lab, and he shows you the one room where the surgery room and the prep room, and then they show the rabbit room with all these big old fuzzy white rabbits in their cages. And then they take me to the rat room, dude. And there's literally there's like these little tubs, which each tub has like 3 rats in it. Okay. And they're just scurrying around in their little sand, and just hear and there's like 4 or 5 levels, like shelves of these things, and just rats, like 180 rats in the fucking room. And I'm just trying to be cool. And they're like, okay, it's normal. And then and then I get the fucking job, dude. And then I get the job and I have to go do it. And the first day they show me how to clean the goddamn rat cages. And you pop the top off, you grab the rats by the tail, put them in the clean one with the sawdust, and then you switch it. But dude, it was eerie as hell, man.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you right now, that is my nightmare.
Oh,
that is my nightmare. To be in a room with 180 rats, I just feel like I'm going to be eaten alive. Right.
So I would have to they would do these surgeries, and I'd have to give the rats anesthesia, put them down.
You had to give them shots, or
you had to give them shots, dude. And you know how hard it is to give a rat a shot. And you have to anesthesia.
You got to hold the rat though, and then
you have to get it in the muscle, in the leg muscle. So what you do is you take the rat and you hold it like a football. You put its nose and stuff, snout here, like up against your arm, and you hold it. And this is really hard, is you hold it with one hand, and then the other hand you got the needle in you. So you're supposed to give it like a direct towards you. So you grab the leg, you pull it, you got the thigh exposed, and then you hit it like that, and you get it in. And then it's kind of funny. You put it on the scale, and the rat starts to run around, and then it gets tired, and then it falls out and sleeps.
Wow.
And then,
hey, dude, I gotta give you props though, man. That's pretty cool. That's an experience.
Well, and then this is the worst though. The next
Did you ever
day,
stab yourself by mistake?
No. But what you do is there's a shot you give them right after surgery. It was like a pain med. You give it, and that's easy shot because that could go into the skin. So you just pull the back of the neck, and the skin is exposed like any animal. And then it's easy. It goes right in. Boom. Right after surgery, they're already groggy, so it's so easy to get those shots in. Boom, boom, boom. So then they knew that I was willing to work Saturdays when nobody was there, just during the day. So then they do surgeries on Friday, and then they could have me come in on Saturday by myself and apply the shots myself.
Okay.
So the next day, them rats are pissed off. they woke up, they had their surgery, they were in pain, they're pissed off. And I had to apply the medicine, and it was the most horrifying thing, just trying to grab them, hold them, get them to do it. Sometimes they're biting at you. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Have you ever been bitten? Like
no.
a little teeth, a little.
Well, one of the most disgusting things I'll say is one of those Saturdays I came in, and one of the rats died after surgery. So when I come in, he's dead, and his two partners in his fucking cage are eating him.
Shut up.
It's so disgusting, bro.
Shut up.
Dude, I almost threw up.
What's that movie where the hockey players plane crash in the mountains and they have to alive. These dudes, it's like, yo, it ain't been that long, dude. It's only been a couple hours.
That's why, my friend, rats are about below squirrels.
Dude, I did not.
Hey, man, shit.
You just said one of them, he just came out of surgery. He's like, I can just imagine. He's like, yo, fellas, I don't feel good. They're like, what's wrong, Ricky? He's like, man, whatever they did to me, it's just not. He falls out, and they're sitting there like, oh man, I can't believe Ricky died.
Dibs.
He's mine. They fight it out. They duke it out. Like, who's gonna eat Ricky first? I am. Dude,
eaten rat carcass that I threw out. It was so disgusting, bro.
Why don't you just let them finish it? They would have eaten the whole thing.
Oh, it was disgusting. I was in the job. I had to keep it sanitary. So yeah, I did that job for like a year. Fucking hated it. I did it part-time, and I only worked the days that there were softball games, because I did the softball, which was fun. There was a men's league and a co-ed, so I did those, and then I would do Saturdays where I didn't have to work with anybody, which I preferred.
Okay.
Yeah, but man, it was definitely not my jam, dude.
Man, I'm good.
Fuck out. And then I moved to California right after that.
You damn right you did. You're like, after this rat fiasco, I'm out of here. Like, watching, dude, that messes me up. That does mess me up. 3 rats, one of them dies, the other 2 just start chomping.
Oh, it's still with me, dude. It never go away.
Yeah, of course.
It was funny. The rabbits, they were doing an experiment with rabbits, just like studying them after they have sex, and it was kind of funny. So I got to watch rabbit banging.
Do the rabbits sit there like this after sex? Like,
no. But no. What's funny is, so you put the male and female in the cage together, and the animals are just so wild and crazy. They're just next to each other. They're like, oh, time to fuck. So they're just running around, and then the male gets on the female, and it is like, you know, really fast. That's the fucking like rabbits. But then the male
rabbits fuck like 20-year-old boys.
Oh yeah. But it just like, and then right when they're done, it's not long, and whenever they're done, the male passes out basically and falls over, goes boom, and falls into the cage, and it's so funny. And then he's just kind of I learned how to hold a rabbit too. Same idea, like a football. Because you got to get the face in there, because they tag them too. I'd do that. I'd tag the ears of the animals. Yeah. And you hold it like a football and hold their legs so they don't kick. Because if they kick, they can break their back. You know, if they
and rabbits are really fragile, right? Like they just seem I don't know.
These were kind of good sized rabbits, kind of big. Okay. And all these animals are always albino. They're all white with the pink, because albino shows when you're doing this shows if there's anything what's flawed or different. You know what I mean? It shows up easier when you test on them.
Okay.
Stuff like that. But
so in other words,
dude,
it'd be better to do experiments on white people because then you can see what happens.
Well, albino, no pigmentation at all. So you can see it all. But
wow, that's crazy, man. I didn't know about your rat adventures.
Yeah, there's things that people have like discovered, and this is what it is, and some people get all uptight about animal testing, but then it's like nothing would have existed, like a lot of these polio vaccine and all this stuff without it. And they breed them specifically for this. Like, it's weird, dude. The rats come in the box in a shipment. Yeah. And right when they come in, you tag each one so that you know which one's which it's funny. The male, sometimes the smaller ones are nice, but then there'd be like these big females with babies. Yeah. And then like y'all don't go near me and my babies. Their nipples are all out. It's so crazy, dude.
That's crazy. I think what's crazy too is how closely related DNA wise that we can do tests.
It's like 98%. That's why they do rats, because rats are easy to produce.
So and it's genetically we're only like two, I don't even know how you would label it, but they're just a difference of 2 between us and them.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's why
it's like that for all the animals.
Stuff with diseases and cancers and all kinds of stuff because of how closely related they are, which is crazy. That ugly motherfucker that eats each other.
I mean, people have been known to Jeffrey Dahmer. He's, he'll take a chunk out your ass.
Well, I just started watching this show last night called Yellow Jackets, and it's got this Lord of the Flies vibe about this girls' soccer team who is going to some championship, and then the plane crashes. But they show like the past of when this happened, and then they show the women now and how they're messed up by what happened. But it seems like we don't know. I only watched the first episode, but it looks like Lord of the Flies eating people shit went down.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna say, is there like some hierarchy, like whoever is the alpha starts to become more dominant? And
I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious to see what's got. It's on Showtime. Check it out.
That's crazy to me. That whole idea that like within a society, if it's all the same gender, right? Like people will take on these roles of like, the dominant one and then the weaker ones. And then like they'll put people into these like gender roles almost, right? Mm-hmm. Where like, I mean, you think about Lord of the Flies, like, when the kids start to become like, I'm the leader and I got the conch and then he's weak and he's subservient. You know what I mean? Like, it's just this whole dynamic, like an analysis of the human condition, right? When put into stressful situations and how people will adapt to these roles.
Yeah, man. People, well, shit, you saw here when the pandemic hit, people went crazy, get all the toilet paper and hoard it all up. Yeah. And our ancestors looking down at us like, God damn, we used to use leaves, you pussies.
Speaking of that, I knew somebody who used a leaf. They were out in the woods hiking and had to handle the business. And this is why it's important. Well, they used a leaf, and that leaf happened to be, it had 3 leaves on it, right?
Poison ivy?
And it was kind of had a little tint to it, and it was poison ivy. And that's why it's important to know your leaves, because then they had a breakout and it was all bad. And it was a she. Her pronouns were she and her. And it was all bad. Can you imagine getting poison ivy in your ass?
So then like that lasts, how long does that last?
Well, first it takes a couple days for it to like happen. You have to have, some people are highly allergic. Like, for example, I am extremely and highly allergic to poison ivy, poison oak. But if
how do you know that?
Because I got it once. I went for a hike once, and I walked across a little branch or leaf that was sticking out on the trail, and it hit my arm like this, right?
That's
just that right there, right? Like one little swipe right there. 3 days later, I was sitting and it felt like something bit me, right? I had a corner, I go, oh shit, I felt like something bit me. And I was like, what the hell? And I started scratching, and then it starts to welt up, and not knowing, when I scratched it, my nails kind of broke the skin a little bit. And then the juice or the pus that was inside, the juice that comes up, every time I scratched it, it created welts in the other places.
Jesus.
Right? So then it spread in this whole area. And unbeknownst to me, sitting there, I do this, right? This part of my arm touches this part of my arm. Boom, it's here. And I was like, what
You're like,
the hell?
like grayscale, like how it kept growing.
Dude, it kept, and I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? I kind of looked it up and I was like, okay, maybe this is what it is. So I went and got some calamine lotion. I sprayed that joint on, but because of how allergic I am to it, it didn't do anything. It really didn't do anything. It kind of it eased some of the itching, but it didn't heal. Right. I finally had to go to a dermatologist and get some stuff called Clobestol, and it's just a real thick, clear cream, and I rubbed it on there. And I'm talking about like it was like I put it like this. I rubbed it on in the morning, and she had me wrap it up so that my skin wouldn't touch other parts of my body. And within like 2 days, dude, it was gone.
That's good.
Yeah, but so that's important. That's why people are using toilet paper and hoarding it, because they're afraid they're gonna get poison oak and wipe their ass.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Dude, it wasn't that bad. The world wasn't that bad that we had to resort to leaf using. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't there yet. It's like,
I mean, I remember I had to break into some Kleenex.
Yeah, okay, I get it, but it's like the rats, man. It's like, dude, he just died. It ain't time to eat him. You ain't got to eat him yet. It's like, dude, the grocery store is just closed. Like everything is just shut
People
down.
lost
It's
their
not.
mind.
Yeah, it's not time to use leaves yet, y'all. Like,
and flour was going like crazy. Like,
oh, dude,
people cakes and shit.
Yeah, people went baking crazy. I'm talking about, what was it? Sourdough bread was the number one thing that people baked during the pandemic. Who would have known that? It's like shit shut down. Everybody wants sourdough bread, yo. I didn't know it was that popular, to be honest with you. So yeah, man. Real quick, should we address this AB situation? Antonio Brown for the Buccaneers.
Well, sad news if you want to talk NFL. Cleveland Browns officially eliminated from the playoffs.
I'm sorry. Hey, look, I almost have on their colors today too.
Hey, man, it was the loss at Raiders was ridiculous. I mean, we didn't have a starting quarterback, which is tough. But
no Baker Mayfield,
and to get that field goal, and then the next game we play the Packers on Christmas. We could beat them. We're definitely able to beat them, and then we were 3 points away after throwing 4 interceptions, which is unbelievable. He should have thrown one of them. The end though, the last play, the receivers held, obviously pass interference. He turns to go catch it. Baker throws it, but he's being held. So then the guy intercepts it. No call. Should have been a call, first down, and we should have been able to at least kick the field goal and miss it like we fucking do every time. Goddamn, that's another thing. The kicker missed one in the Raiders game. Like if we would have made the kicks, we would never even been in this position.
Right.
Just very frustrating. And then Baker catches some heat, but the coaching calls on some of it. All we needed was one first down against the Raiders. They would have won. So anyway, they got eliminated, and Baker's getting surgery. The question is, will he be the guy next year? The thing is, it ain't easy to get a quarterback. We went through 30 fucking quarterbacks before him. All right, before we won another playoff game. Like we ain't won a playoff game since the 90s. We won one with him. It's like, okay, if you got somebody else, cool. But right now, who are you going to get?
Who are you going to get? Wow, man, I'm really sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks. I did hear
disappointing season. Very disappointing.
It is disappointing. I heard a couple talking heads talking about, what was happening with Cleveland and after Odell Beckham left and what Odell was saying about Baker Mayfield and all this kind of stuff. And this guy made a point. He was like, hey, look, Odell's not there and things still aren't working. So is it Odell's fault? Right?
It's never really like Odell. He didn't really.
It's not
he wasn't
that it's Odell's
contributing fault. Anything. Either.
Well, yeah, not that it's Odell's fault, but did he have a point with his perspective of Baker Mayfield? Right? Like him not being able to get the job done?
I don't think that, because I don't think he was getting as open. Like, you're like, oh, he'll be open on certain plays. But I saw Odell dropping many a ball. And honestly, he's had a few touchdowns because in LA, but he's only getting like 30, 40 yards a game still. He's not like, he ain't the Odell of old.
Right.
And the Browns desperately need a number one receiver. There's nobody to throw the goddamn ball to. We're on the top in the league in drops. Jeez. Baker's getting balls batted all the time. He's shorter. But a lot of injuries fucked us this year. He was hurt. Baker got hurt in the second week. People forget that he went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in the opener of the NFL.
Right.
Like they were going at it. It was a great game. Then the second week he gets hurt trying to make a tackle like a fool. And then ever since then,
it's all downhill. So let me ask you this. Will the LA Rams make the playoffs?
Yeah, they're already in. They clinched.
That sucks.
But they were already in before, Odell.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's like, the thing is, the guy, he makes a fuss to get his way out of Cleveland, and then he goes to a team, and the previous team isn't in the playoffs. He is in the playoffs, regardless of whether or not they were there beforehand. It's just kind of that thing of like, oh, that kind of sucks, because you at least want, especially the way it happened with the complaining and making a public plea to get out. You at least want the team to still do well, right? Like, okay, yeah, you can leave, but we still did well. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So
yeah,
I'm sorry, dude.
He wasn't. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. They gotta get because we got one of the best running backs in Nick Chubb. Injuries fucked us a lot too. Chubb was hurt. Yeah. Kareem Hunt's been hurt. Baker's been hurt. Defense had a lot of injuries, so we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, so AB, that's what you wanted to talk about. Losses.
So I just want to talk about. I think. Okay, so just for people who don't know, Antonio Brown, wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who won the Super Bowl last year and who are actually pretty much favored this year as well. Dude storms off the field during the course of a game, takes off his pads, throws them down, takes off his undershirt, throws that into the crowd, takes off his gloves, throws that into the crowd, and like waves as he's running off.
Does jumping jacks in the end zone while they're on the field for the next play.
Yeah, and then runs into the locker room during the game, during the course of the game, right? And then, now it's come out that he was injured and he wasn't getting balls thrown to him. And, at some point the coach was like, he was like, how come I'm not playing? It sounds like it's contradictory, because on one hand, he's saying I was hurt. I was too hurt to play. On the other side, he was saying, well, how come you're not throwing me the ball? And the coach is like, you're done. Right. Get out of here.
Thank you. They released text that he sent with the coach talking about his injuries. But they also were saying, like, when you're on the sideline and if you're injured, there's a protocol, and you go to these people and be like, hey, this is the thing. And those people cleared him to play. And and there's plays on him like he was getting wide open on some cuts that like didn't look injured, right? So anyway, but whatever, he's working on his thing. The coach told him to get in, and they definitely didn't handle it right. He went off on the coach. The coach said he was complaining he wasn't in the game enough, and he was complaining when they were down by like 2-3 touchdowns or whatever it was before they came back.
Wait, hold up. So he was complaining about not being in the game, but then he was complaining about being too injured to play?
Yeah, he was complaining that said that the coach says he told him, hey, I'm not being involved enough in the game. I'm not getting the ball. Okay, I saw that. Yeah. And that's what pissed him off. And then he said, well, I'm too hurt to go. But he didn't say it to protocol. He didn't go to the people who's supposed to say that on the sideline. Right. It was just kind of seemed like he's using that as an excuse of why he went off.
Okay. So, all right. So now with that being said, right, he's now been released, right? They officially released him. And he says, I just saw this statement this morning. He goes, I'm going to have surgery. And when I come back, I'm going to have tons of suitors. And I'm thinking, tons? You just made a spectacle of yourself and your organization and your team and ran off the field during the course of a game. I'm not saying that you can't have a gripe. I'm not saying that you can't have beef. I'm not saying that you can't be upset. I'm saying that you can't show your ass during the game, right? You save all of that for the locker room and for the privacy of the locker room after the game or whatever the case may be. But you can't show up the coaching staff, the owners, the coaching staff, the medical staff, your teammates. That's the biggest one right there. It's not that he left the game. I mean, that's bad enough, but he left his teammates.
Yeah.
Dude, every sport you talk about, especially a team sport, everyone talks about the camaraderie and the respect and the devotion that you have to your teammates, right? The respect that you have for your teammates, not to leave them out like that. So, because when you do something like that, you don't make yourself look bad. You make all of us look bad to some degree. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, there was one player that came up and was like, yo, man, don't do this. Like, nah, not right now. Not like this. And he kind of brushed him off and went
Mike
ahead.
Evans,
Yeah, it's like, dude, this ain't the place for it, man. Look, I understand you got a beef. But yo, cook that shit after the game, bro. Right?
I saw a thing that said Antonio Brown now is quit on and had problems with Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers and Tom Brady on the Bucs, like two of the best quarterbacks ever. Well, imagine if he was on a team with a shitty quarterback.
Oh my goodness.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was on the Raiders too, and that was drama. It's like, here's the thing, man. In football, it's like you can't have that. You can't have that drama. You need that camaraderie, and that was the problem with Odell. Like, it doesn't matter how good he was or is, or what if he had a step or not. He lost. It wasn't getting along with everyone else. They're saying he's exercising on his own. He didn't care. He's friends with Jarvis, but that was it. And Jarvis is great. He can catch, but Jarvis ain't a number one. You need a number one. You need a guy like the Bengals. They're the ones who win the North because all you got to do is throw the goddamn ball up to Jamar Chase. He's a number one receiver. They just drafted that dude.
Yeah. Well, team sports, man, and people get the money get involved. And look, I think athletes should get paid, right? I'm just gonna say it right now. Because no one ever everyone always wants to talk about how much the athlete is getting paid, right? This guy signed for 200, this guy signed for 170, 60, 80 million, right? But no one ever thinks about the guys who are paying that. Believe me, the owner is not paying you, or the boss is not paying you more than he's making. You understand me now, right?
It's like Chris Rock, rich and wealthy.
Yeah, exactly. So while I'm out here on the field, busting my ass, getting blown up, getting CTE, brain getting knocked around in my head, body getting destroyed, compensate me, right? Because totally. So I get it, but I also think that sometimes the money the money goes to people's head, man, and they just, they don't play right. They just don't. They don't play well with others sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a team sport.
No, you're right, because there's like an ego thing.
It's definitely an ego thing. And think about it. If people talk about this too, as a player and a coach, right? You got a player and a coach, and the player is making more than the coach, which is basically saying, I'm more valuable to this organization than you are. And you're telling me what?
Right.
Yeah. Look, dog, I can't,
Yeah, it was like how Urban Meyer trying to talk to them like kids.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is the thing, though. Antonio Brown gets away with some sexual assault accusations. They let him back in the league. Then he fakes his vaccine cards. That's another drama. It's just like, dude, when he played with the Steelers last year, he quit on them because he was pissed off. And it was just, yeah, man, I don't know what he's gonna do.
I think he's done. He may get another opportunity with a lesser team, but I don't know anybody. Look, man, if you can't play with arguably the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady,
I mean, he's the one who fought for him to get there. They didn't want him there in the first place.
And you get there and you win a Super Bowl and you have a chance to win another one to go back to back. Dude, where if you can't listen to Tom Brady, who is a winner, a guarantee.
And then they won that game after they won after he left.
Yeah, exactly. He's a bona fide winner. You can't play with that dude. You think we're going to bring you into our organization with a quarterback that doesn't have half or even a quarter of the respect that he has? Right? Like, dude, you must be out your mind, bro. Come on. You're going to be in the CFL. Talk about Sal going to Canada. Hey. Antonio Brown is going to be in Canada next year playing or in Europe. So, but
I was there when Johnny Manziel got there, and he was in the CFL for like 2 games.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel, man, that guy really had an opportunity and blew that.
Yeah,
he was more
crazy to see, man.
Yeah, he was more excited about the image of looking like a baller than actually working hard at being one.
His family was rich. His dad was an oil man, so they had money. So it was like he already had like the no consequences rich kid vibe.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was spoiled. He was spoiled,
right? Which I like. What I like about Baker, who's a way better quarterback and got unfairly described like Manziel because of his size. But Baker was like a walk-on in 2 different colleges. He had to walk on his own, win the job on his own. Nobody believed in him. Wow. I mean, the guy's got an arm. He's just got to get rid of ball quicker. Here's another thing against the Steelers. They put fucking a rookie on TJ Watt. The guy played 2 games and then he's got a block because we had injuries. So he got crushed. Watt had 4 sacks on him.
You know what? I got to say, knowing you and knowing the Cleveland way, Baker Mayfield's story is like a great description of, like, I think the people in the mentality of Cleveland. Like, how you have that underdog mentality of, like, like just then you're like, he was a walk-on at 2 different schools and he had to fight and scratch and make his way. It's the Cleveland way. Scratching,
But my point is like he's not going to squander the opportunity as much as a guy like Manziel will.
No, I get it. But I'm like, yo, give me that guy who's been kicking ass since middle school, right? The guy who was like all state and who was Mr.
That is,
whatever.
I mean, Baker won the Heisman. He did win the Heisman.
So I give
Kyler Murray was his backup at Oklahoma.
Okay, yeah, I give him props for that. But
I mean,
I'm like, you know me, you're an underdog. I'm a front runner. I'm like, yo, I Tom Brady, keep winning Super Bowls. Michael Jordan, if you can win more championships, come back and win more championships.
I mean, yeah, it's like if you look at that draft too, that 20 whatever draft we got him, he was the number 1 pick, but then number 2 was Sam Darnold, who's definitely declined.
Right.
And then there was Josh Allen, who's doing really well. And then there was Josh Rosen, who's disappeared off the planet. And then there was Lamar Jackson, who's doing great.
Okay.
So Baker's kind of like in the middle between those 5 first rounders.
Yeah.
And we'll see. He might not be back with Cleveland. I don't know who they're going to get. Russell Wilson, Aaron anti-vax Rodgers. I I don't know.
Aaron anti-vax Rodgers, dude.
The Browns got guys now that they can compete. They just, so if you get what do you get 1 year or 2 with Aaron Rodgers' old ass, or even Russell Wilson? Maybe. He had a terrible year in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, man. Well, for the people who are listening, I hope that you enjoyed this last part about Cleveland. Cleveland Browns.
You got me all piped.
I know. I got you riled up.
The damn playoffs. I'm pissed. Hey, here's some good news though.
But hold up though. It was supposed to be about Antonio Brown. Eventually, I wanted to get to potential CTE. That was the whole reason I even wanted to talk about the guy, was that I feel like he's displaying, some symptoms of CTE, where like he's obviously got some mental issues.
You should definitely see like a therapist. I mean, he's assaulted people before.
Yeah,
that delivery guy he beat up. So
so he's, I'm just thinking maybe he's been knocked around too much, but somehow we ended up on Cleveland not making the playoffs and Baker Mayfield.
Pissed, dude. I'm pissed.
It's all good, brother.
Wait, I was gonna say something and I forgot now. Let me think here for a minute. Let's see, Baker. Cavs been looking good, dude. That's a whole nother thing. But one thing, dude, your boy right here gonna be up in San Francisco in a couple weeks. Dude.
No, I saw that. You're gonna be at the Punchline.
Yeah, dude, doing 5
I'm coming.
shows. Oh, sweetness. What is it? I don't know. The 20th to the 22nd. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday with my man Kellen Erskine, dude.
Yes, sir. That's my dude too.
Cool.
Hey, dude, I'll be there.
How'd you see that already?
I went to the Punchline 2 nights ago for an all-star show to watch. Tony Kameen was headlining, and Phil Griffith was doing his feature audition. Ron Vai, who lives in Vegas now, did a set. There was this guy from Seattle named Sam that Tony invited. Big dude, 6'6", 360 pounds. Dude, great story. Funny as hell, though. Funny as hell. Nice. Used to live in Florida. He was homeless in Florida, living under a bridge, living in an abandoned trailer at one point. Crazy story. But got on stage, man, and was funny as hell. He only did a guest set 5 minutes. And I was like, yo, this dude was like, he was a pleasant highlight. Like, he had this one joke that just cracked me up. He was talking about being in jail, right? He's like, yeah, I spent a lot of time in jail because of whatever. And then he talks about, here's one joke where he talks about talking to the correctional officers and mouthing off because he's like, I'm already in jail, right? What are you gonna do to me? And he kind of goes at him, and then he's like, they come to handcuff him. He goes, what are you doing? I'm already in jail. He's like, I didn't know that there was more jail in jail, right? And then he asked the audience, he goes, does anybody know what inmates watch in jail? And someone in the crowd yells, cops, right? And he goes, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that response wasn't like a question like cops. Their response was cops.
I've been there. I know.
You've been to jail, so you know.
No, that's what it sounds like. That guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it sounded like. So he was a funny guy. But yeah, I went to the show and then I saw the upcoming calendar. Kevin Shea is gonna be in town too, so I'm gonna go check him out. Yeah, man. So yeah, when you come to town, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we should we got to record something while you're here. be in the same room.
Cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we gotta make it happen. So, all right, man. All right, let's. I guess we should wrap it up because it's been a minute.
All right, man.
Now.
Close us out, Reg.
Yes, sir. Hey, thank you, folks, for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Florida Gators and a small amount of Sal in Canada and a huge amount of Baker Mayfield.
Good old chunk of Baker for dessert.
Yeah, exactly. And a touch of vaccine information. And Sal getting and defeating COVID, right? So thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Please keep tuning in. We love doing it. And we'll see you next week. That's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele. Peace. And this is Spitballin. Peace.